Hello YouTube, and welcome to my very first video on my Wednesday pickups from my local comic shop. I don't have a cool title or anything for it yet, so if you think of one and I can steal it, go for it. I'll take it. Anyways, today is May 17th, 2017. You know, when I was looking over the list this morning and, over the past week, I was like, there's not really much out that I'm interested in. I knew I wanted to pick up World Reader number 2 because I read the first issue and it was way out there. I can't say if it was good or bad, but it was definitely different, so I wanted to see, what else was going on with it. Of course I wanted to pick up Generation X because those are like my two favorite X-Men. Shadowcat or Kitty Pryde or whatever you want to call her, and Jubilee. Anything that has Jubilee on the cover, I'm going to buy. I don't care if somebody drew a stick figure of her on a blank piece of paper and told me it was a comic book and it was $5. I'll pay you for it. Love Jubilee. She's awesome. Other than that, there really wasn't much. I was like, what am I going to buy? Image really wasn't coming out with any number ones this week, which is a little different. They have been coming out with number ones pretty consistently. There's been new series like Left and Right. There was only like one or two today. Marvel's in the middle of a lot of stuff with the X-Men, and of course, the Generation X number one came out, but we had a Luke Cage number one and stuff like that too. But I just wasn't that interested in anything. But I definitely found some books. I definitely found a good amount of stuff on the new release wall, and I found a few back issues that I grabbed also. So without any further ado, let me pull out the books that I bought this week, May 17th, 2017 at my local comic shop. Here we go. As I said, World Reader number 2. It's an aftershock book. I haven't read any of these yet. I read Generation X before I started because I had to. But other than that, I haven't read anything yet. The first issue of this series, super out there, super interesting. It was very, I don't even know how to explain it. I felt a little claustrophobic reading it, even though it was in space. But it just made me feel a little weird. But once you get to the end of the first issue, you're just kind of like, what's going on here? What's going to happen next? And that, to me, that's what makes a great comic, whenever you're hooked in. It's never mind. Anyways, World Reader number 2, Aftershock. I did pick up Yokai Watch number 1. I will definitely read it. I'm not super interested in it. I don't know anything about it. It could be awesome, or it could be like a weird little kid's book. I don't know. I imagine it's something like Pokemon and stuff like that. It's the first issue. There's a little bit of buzz around it because the property's been around for a little while and other forms of media. Could be awesome, maybe not. We'll find out. That was IDW put that out, by the way. I definitely picked up the Spawn number 1 director's cut, and I grabbed the regular cover for it. I probably have almost an entire short box full of Spawn number 1s. So when I got up to the register, I was like, I'm picking up another Spawn number 1. For what? What am I going to do with a Spawn number 1? I have no idea, but I can't pass up a director's cut. The 25th anniversary. Sure, it's a cash grab for $5, but whatever. Todd McFarlane, take my money. That's fine. Spawn's been a good book. I probably dropped off reading it, after issue 20 or something. I haven't read Spawn in a very long time, but it's Spawn. I grabbed the second copy of Monsters Unleashed. I read I think it was a 5-part miniseries, and I grabbed the first issue of this series, but I haven't read it yet. I know that I want to. I liked the miniseries a lot, and I think some cool stuff is going to happen here, so I picked it up. I'm going to keep picking them up and probably read them once I have 4 or 5 issues together. I just haven't found the time to do that yet. I know I'm a bad comic book reader, but I grabbed the regular copy of Luke Cage number 1, Marvel. I don't know. I haven't read a lot of Luke Cage books. I read the the recent Power Man and Iron Fist series that was out, and I liked that. And I watched some of the Luke Cage show, but I definitely didn't finish it. It drug a little much for me, but I'm definitely gonna read that, and I'm stoked about it. XMen Gold, got Gambit on the cover there. There was like a lot of hype around the first issue of this series because of the craziness going on with the hidden religious or political agenda or whatever. I've picked up all of them, and I've only read the first issue, and I'm not gonna lie, like, it was a little slow for me. I don't know if like slow is the word, but it just didn't like grab me, like it didn't hook me in. I'm picking up all of them, and I'm kind of like the same way that I am with the Monsters Unleashed. Once I have like a good amount like sitting there on my nightstand, I'll read them before I file them away in a long box. This is what I always do. Like, I'm kind of weird with Wednesdays. I pick up a handful of books, and there's like 3 or 4 that I'm like, okay, I got to read them right this second. I'm going to read them. I have to know what's going on with them. And then I put the other ones like on my nightstand next to my bed. And, most of the time they're like ongoing series, and I'm like, okay, well, let me read the ones that I'm really excited about, set these off to the side, read them in a couple of weeks. Once I read them, I file them away in my long box. That's how I do my comics. Some people read everything like all at once when they get them. Like, I just don't have the time. I guess I could make the time, but I don't. Okay, and then this Flash 22. Sorry, I picked up Flash 21, the regular cover for that. I didn't even get the cool like 3D cover or whatever. But I got this solely because I like the cover. I don't like Flash at all. I'm not interested in reading Flash. Maybe Flash is awesome. Maybe Flash's story arc right now is really good. I have no idea. I know that they're on the button and all that stuff. The only exposure I have with the Watchmen is the movie, and I absolutely hated it. I don't like the idea of the Watchmen. I just think it's kind of stupid. Please don't hate me for that. I know everybody else loves it. Just in my opinion, my personal taste, I don't like it. Doesn't mean I fault anybody else for liking it. I just don't. And like I said in a previous video, I'm not a huge DC fan. So I really did pick this up for the cover. I really like the cover. I think that's really good cover art. Like how it has, the old, I don't know if that's Golden Age Flash. Maybe it's Silver Age. I don't know. I believe it's Golden, but maybe Flash doesn't go back that far. I'm not too sure. But I really enjoy the way this looks. It's very nice artwork. I'll never read it. Could be the best story ever. I'll never know. But it looks cool. Alright, so I picked this up. This also. This was my local shop owner's pick of the week. He has like a little thing next to his cash register with his, pick of the week. This was there. I was going to grab it anyways. Just because it sounded so weird. But he definitely sold me on it. He's like, dude, it's like crazy. It's like a high school girl version of Scarface, but with weed instead of coke and all this. And I was like, that's not what I expected from it. It sounds different. I'm probably gonna read this right now, like after I wrap this video up. I don't know what to say about it. Girl Scouts Magic Socks. I know that it's not. This is a #1, but it's not the first appearance of this character. There was like an ongoing or something with this before. Anyways, this is Image. This is #1. It's got a Spawn homage cover there. Looks super interesting. It's even got the like little happy 25th birthday Spawn, type of thing. So I think that's cool. We'll see how the book is. Don't know. I picked up God Country 5. I've been picking up God Country. I picked up 2 copies of 1 and 2 and sold my extra copies on eBay. And that paid for like, my books the next week. So I'm happy with God Country. It's an interesting story. I don't know where it will go. I don't think it's like a complete ongoing. I believe maybe it's a mini. I could be wrong about that too, but it's interesting. That's a cool cover too, I think. I like the really dark, colors on that. And then what I was most excited about there. And I had to get the variant cover. I saw it and I was like, oh my god, look at Jubilee on that. Like, she looks amazing. I absolutely love Jubilee. Again, Jubilee and Shadowcat or Kitty Pryde are my favorite X-Men. Spider-Man is definitely my favorite Marvel character. Spider-Man and Man-Thing, sorry. But, X-Men is my favorite series, and Shadowcat and Jubilee are my favorite X-Men characters. So I just think that cover's amazing. This book was really cool. Really insanely out there. The artwork on the inside is, like, gonna blow you away. It's really, really good artwork. It's amazing artwork, in my opinion. I think it's really awesome. Hopefully people will check this out and not, be turned off by it and think it's gimmicky or something. Like, it's actually really good. I'm very excited for the next issue. So I'll shut up about that. And then I just picked up a few other things. I did not pick up any key books today. Usually I pick up like one or two, books that are at least over like $50 or $60, but it's not that I couldn't or that I didn't want to. I just didn't see anything that really caught my eye today. There was a nice New Mutants 98 up on the wall, which I definitely would have bought. It would be my third copy, but I would definitely buy it. But my only problem with getting that was the fact that, for one thing, it was CGC graded as a slabbed book, and I really don't want slabbed books. Like, all I'm going to do with them is sell them on eBay, so really what's the point? And it was signed by Rob Liefeld, which some people really like that. I hate signed books. I don't want you to mess up the cover on my book for no reason. Like, sorry. Sign a piece of paper and I'll, it says, to Daniel from Rob Liefeld, and I'll put it in the back of my bag and board, and I'll be happy with that. Like, that's a signature to me, but I don't want it on my book. Some people do. The price was really good. I probably should have bought it, but I didn't, just because of those two factors there. It's slabbed and it's signed, and I'm not into that. So, anyways, I just picked up a few books to fill a couple of holes, so I'll just show you those just for the hell of it. Sorry, I'm getting them off the floor. Still getting them off the floor. Okay. So, they're not really in any particular order, sorry. But I picked up Uncanny XMen 371. I don't remember what the storyline's about. I remember that I didn't particularly like the team that much at this point. It was I just remember Colossus being like all over everything. I'm not that interested in Colossus. So that was 371. I grabbed 372. This one I remember something. Oh, okay. So the other one was like part of a crossover storyline that went into some other X books, and it was called Rage Against the Machine, like the band. And this one I think is a crossover also, but it's like Shattered or Shattering, yeah. And like half the people leave the team. I think Colossus leaves, Professor X leaves, a bunch of people leave, Gambit leaves, and then like they come back the next issue or whatever. You know how it goes. So I also got 373. I'm not showing anybody these books because I think they're like cool key issues or anything. Like, I paid 50 cents for them. Like, I understand they're just to fill some holes in my collection. 374. It's a pretty interesting cover. And then I also grabbed 258 because that was a hole in my collection, and I do appreciate that cover. I think it would be a little bit nicer without the red background, but what's done is done. I picked up another copy of 276 just because I can always, I've sold quite a few 266s and 267s in lots on eBay, and even though this book is, it's pretty worthless. It's worth probably a guide is under $10, but every time I put them together, I'm able to get a lot more than I would if I just put up 266.